Hello, welcome back to the mat, and welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we have a nice full body mobility routine. So this is perfect for before a workout to really warm up your joints and make sure your body is prepared for all that you are about to do. This can also be used as a mild little workout in itself. We really work from head to toe. So be prepared, use your breath. This is a very dynamic sort of routine. So we will be using a lot of inhale, exhale movements. About 3 to 5 reps or rounds for each kind of posture. And that'll really help you to see how you open up as you breathe and release. So do what you can, have fun, don't push yourself too hard, and we don't need any props, but grab anything that you know you would like to have alongside you, as well as some water, and we can begin. Starting in a nice, easy seat, making sure you are ready for this routine, settling in here, kind of finding some breath awareness. Just take a few breaths, breathing in gratitude for this body that allows you to move so freely. One more breath. Beautiful. And on your next inhale, take the fingertips to the shoulders, reaching the elbows up, inhale, and exhale around. Working through the shoulder joint, finding about 5 of these circles, but making sure to move at your own pace throughout this entire practice. So if you need to add a few extra in or kind of pause me along the way, find your own flow, your own rhythm. I am merely a guide here. One more big inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, reach the arms up, shoulders down, find length along the arms. And exhale, cactus the arms, bending the elbows, palms face forward. Big inhale. And exhale, draw the elbows together in front of the chest. And releasing down on your last exhale, coming onto the knees at the back of the mat. Nice big child pose, reaching the fingertips out. Taking one breath to find length in the spine and the lower back. And then inhale, press through the knees to lift the hips, pressing through the hands, taking the hips forward, finding some hip circles. So taking the hips to the right, meeting back in child pose, and then over to the left. Make these as slow and expressive as you need to open up. Taking about 3 on each side. Adding in another one for good measure. And whenever you're ready, meet back up in a neutral spine, tabletop, ground down through the feet. Find nice length in the spine. Inhale, peel the left arm up to the sky. And on your exhale, thread the needle. Taking 3 of these. Inhale to reach. Exhale to thread. And staying here on your third exhale, opening, pressing away from the mat. We can reach the right arm up high as well. One breath. Beautiful. Plant that right hand back down, lifting up. Extend the left arm forward, right leg reaches back. Find length first. Then exhale, crunch everything in. Connecting to the core. 3 of these. Releasing back to tabletop. and finding a little wrist stretch. So planting the palms, the backs of the hands on the mat, kind of walking them back towards the knees a little bit. And we can use our hips to kind of sway and rock. We want to make sure the wrists are nice and warmed up, especially if we're about to do some weightlifting, strength training. Finding what feels good, just opening the body. One more breath. And then meeting back in a tabletop for the other side. Right arm peels up, big inhale. Exhale. Taking your awareness to the spine here. And on the third one, taking a breath or two. Find some ease. Exhale, plant the left hand, coming back up, reaching long, and exhale, crunch. Releasing down and coming onto the forearms, coming into a nice forearm plank. So ground down through the palms before extending the legs. Draw the navel into the spine, hold here. Beautiful. Don't let those hips drop. 3, 2, 1. Roll onto your left side, coming into a side forearm plank, stacking the feet and reaching the right arm up. Sending the hips up. We can stay here or we can crunch the top leg 3 times. Really challenging your sense of control here. It's okay if we're struggling. And carefully roll back through your forearm plank. A breath to reset and over to the other side. Beautiful. Use your breath. It's your friend here. Taking what you need, modifying as you see fit. Meeting back in a nice forearm plank. Send the hips up, walking the feet, coming into a nice dolphin pose, really pressing away from the mat. Your chest is pressing towards your legs. Beautiful. And then take the nose and try to tap the hands 3 times. Press away. Maybe an extra one for good measure. Meeting back in our dolphin pose. Coming down onto the knees. Carefully lifting the chest. Making your way to a nice side straddle. Finding what feels good here. The hips might not be too open at this point. We don't need the legs to be too far. Take the hands behind the bum. Lean back and just kind of windshield wiper your feet. Waking up through the ankles. Taking any rolls. All right. Coming back through our straddle, lifting up. Take the hands to the right side. Planting the hands, inhale, lift up, kind of use the hands to press the chest up. It's okay if we can't reach all the way. Then exhale, kind of bend through, reach the chest towards the mat. Inhale, lift, 3 of these. And exhale, bend, making sure you're grounding down through the sit bones still. Then coming back up, returning to center, bending this right knee. Planting it in between by the hips. Reach the right arm overhead. Left reaches for the foot. try to tap the foot or the shin if you can. Reach back up. Finding a few breaths here, opening through the chest, the side body. Before taking the other side. Lifting up, releasing, extending the right leg long, taking your little feet windshield wipers. And we can also take seated windshield wipers. If we feel like our hips are super, super tight here, we can substitute. Beautiful. And wherever we are, meeting back in our straddle, taking the hands to the left side. Inhale, extend, and exhale, fold over. Beautiful. Come back through center. Find a little stretch here. And then take the left leg in towards the hips, reaching over, reaching with the fingertips, keeping the chest nice and open. Trying to tap the foot and open it back up. Big breaths. Send oxygen and blood to the body and brain. And when you feel ready, release, lift back up, and make your way into a squat at the front of the mat. Trying to open the hips here. Find what feels good to you, sending the pelvis down, the chest up, and wriggle in. And we have a few options. We can come up onto the balls of the feet, working through the feet, especially depending on what kind of a workout you are preparing to do. Or we can stay here and work through more side body opening. If we're doing side body, about 3 breaths on each side. Meeting back in a nice Malasana. Before coming into a nice chair pose, turn the toes towards the front of the mat. Feet underneath the hips. Inhale, raise the arms, sink into the hips. Exhale, keeping the knees bent, fold over the legs. Inhale, back up to chair. And this time on the exhale, straighten the legs. 2 more times like this. Inhale, chair. Exhale, bent knees. And exhale, straight knees. Beautiful. Meeting in our forward fold. Taking a nice little revolve. Bend the right knee, plant the right fingertips, reach the left arm up. Catch your breath here. Exhale to replace and carefully switch. Finding a nice little twist. Waking up the backs of the legs. Returning to a forward fold and slowly coming up to a standing position at the top of the mat, a nice mountain pose. Making sure you have a little bit of room in front of you, so if you need to scoot back a little bit, ground down through the feet, send the arms up to shoulder height, and find little shoulder circles, really squeezing the scapula together. We're working through all joints here today. One more breath. And then send the left arm up overhead. Ground down through this left foot, trying to grab the ankle, quadricep stretch. Send the pelvis forward. Hold here for a few breaths, really opening up the front of the leg before we find more dynamic movement. On your next exhale, release the ankle, kick it out in front of you. Inhale, try to reach and grab it back, stretch, and exhale, kick. 3 of these. And releasing the knee right in front of the hips, finding some hip circles. Open the knee to the right side. Really draw these out. Make large circles with the knee as we're working through our stabilizer muscles. And on your next breath, keeping the knee right in front of the hip, rotate the ankle once more. All right. Planting the right foot down, arms come back up, shoulder height, a few more circles. Maybe we reverse it this time, we go the other way. Standing up nice and tall. And right arm reaches up, left hand reaches for the left ankle. Few breaths of a nice stretch. Really trying to send the knee down into the mat. And exhale, kick it 3 times. Beautiful. Releasing it in front of the hips and finding your circles. Exaggerate these as much as you can. Maybe feeling some pops, some creaks. Totally normal. As we open. And rotating through the ankle whenever you're ready. Giving our feet some love, some TLC. They get left out a lot. All right, last breath. And then take the feet together. Bending the knees, hands come down towards the knees. And kind of doing that, it's like some sort of dance move, but working through the knees, so straightening them and bending, but not straightening all the way. So we're feeling probably a nice stretch all along the back of the heel, the Achilles, up the calf. Just wiggle them around there. Do a little dance move. Beautiful. And then returning back to straight legs. Step the right leg back, nice and strong into a high lunge. Up on the ball of the foot, hands come to the hips, taking 5 of these little dips. So bending the right knee, and straighten. Engaging the core. Meeting back in a nice high lunge, still reaching that heel back. Inhale, arms reach forward. Send the chest towards the left thigh. Exhale, sweep the arms back. 3 of these. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. Plant the right foot at a diagonal. Inhale, lift up the chest. Humble warrior on the exhale. 3 of these. Inhale to lift. Exhale, dip. Shoulder comes to the knee. And on your next inhale, straighten the legs and fold over the left leg. Same thing. We can release the hands to the lower back or the hips if that's more comfortable. And coming into a revolved triangle twist, forward fold, right fingertips to mat. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, frame the left foot. Reaching up and frame. Beautiful. 5 of these. And then carefully turn to the long edge of the mat. Ground down through the outer edges of the feet, lifting up, hands to hips. Taking 5 of these, exhale, chest comes forward to about hip height. And then bring it back up. Hinging from the hips, squeezing through the glutes. Finding nice activation there. You can also reach the arms out. I'm taking one more. We're going to throw in another. Lifting back up, turning to the back of the mat, coming over your right leg, finding your big high lunge. Whoop. Hands come to the hips and sink the left knee down. For 5. And arms shoot overhead, being careful not to sink into the hips. Exhale, sweep them behind. Humble warrior flow. Inhale, lift the chest, hands pull down. Exhale, fold. Remembering to move at your own pace. And straightening the legs. And revolve triangle. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, frame. Then carefully turning back to the long edge of the mat. Lifting back up. Hands come to hips. And then this time, kind of finding a nice circular flow. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the right knee, take the hands down, sweep over, bend the left knee, and back up. 1. Now go the other way. Left knee bends first. Exhale, sweep it around, and back up. 2 more times, each side. Like you're sweeping the ground. You can have fun with this one. And coming into goddess pose next, turn the toes to the corner, bend the knees. Take the feet in a little bit. Sink down, squeeze through the glutes, hands heart center or the hips. Then lifting one heel and release. And the other. 5 on each side, you got this. Finishing strong in a nice goddess pose. Find a little pulse. And straighten the legs. Release down onto the knees carefully, coming into a little kneeling pose. So we can keep the toes tucked if we would like. Face this way for you. Taking eagle arms with it. So find your eagle arms in front of the chest. Inhale, lift up, send the pelvis forward. And exhale, take the eagle arms kind of down towards the mat. We can flatten the feet so we can send the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, press the pelvis forward, kind of a slight back bend. And exhale. 5 of these. And when you've done your 5th, you guessed it, release and reverse the other side of eagle arms. Beautiful. And allowing yourself to unravel and sink back on the heels whenever you have finished your rounds. Taking a moment to notice the breath here. Notice how you feel, how open you feel. And we can take an optional ankle stretch. This is pretty intense. So we'll be rocking back, using your fingertips to kind of push. You're rocking onto the front of the ankles. Beautiful. And releasing, crossing the feet at the ankles to find a nice seat. You can come into bound angle, pressing the soles of the feet together. Fingertips find, peace fingers find big toes. Sending the knees down into the mat. And then butterflying the legs. Shaking some energy around. Preparing to come to a close of this little full body mobility routine. So check in with yourself and see if there's anything else your body feels like it needs to be warmed up and prepared for whatever activity is next on your list. And I invite you to take any extra movements or another little stretch, or join me here in a nice final pose where I invite you to close the eyes and tune into the feeling body. Noticing the breath, your heartbeat, the blood pumping through your veins. A few moments of silence and stillness to be with yourself here in this moment, on this day, in your safe space. Bringing hands to heart center, I humbly thank you for allowing me to guide you today. And I hope that this opened you up and made you feel really, really ready for whatever comes next. I would love to know how this practice felt for you, and I look forward to the next time we see each other. Thank you. Enjoy your workout, my friend.